What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 7. It's Me or the Bikini, and this is the Bini and Ari edition. So, the next morning, I guess they've calmed down a whole lot from their previous day when they were in New York City and they got into that argument when Benny had made, I thought was a very innocent suggestion about, hey, maybe one day we can come live in New York City. And she completely broke down and she kind of saw it as him not appreciating all that her and her family have done for him. And my parents got us this apartment and now you want to move somewhere else. So after all of that, the next morning they wake up, I guess they're a little bit more calmer. Well, Benny was calm. Benny wasn't troubled. It was Ari that was like on an emotional roller coaster after that conversation. Benny's busy playing with his son, having a good time. So I felt like, Ari took that his suggestion about moving to New York City, she took it way too seriously. I don't think he was like, okay, let's go back to New Jersey, pack up our stuff, come back to New York in about, a couple of hours and let's try to find a place. I don't think he was that. I think he was just daydreaming. Like how he talks about being a UFC fighter one day. Like one day he wants to live in New York City. It wasn't like something that he wanted to do right then and there and it had to be done or he was going to threaten to go back to Ethiopia if they can't live in New York City right now. I don't know why she took it that seriously. So Benny FaceTimes his sisters, and it starts off with them joking about the sisters throwing the wine in Ari's face. They feel absolutely zero remorse. Benny was trying to explain to his sisters that that might not have been the best thing to do because, she is your sister in law. This is my soon to be wife. And the sisters said that, well, after all we did for her, taking care of her, taking care of her baby, she was going to I forgot what Ari said that they found so disrespectful, but whatever she said, they felt like they were justified in throwing the wine in her face. And, they all, including Benny, had a really good chuckle about that. So the sisters say to him that if the relationship doesn't work out, Ari can still help him by helping him get a green card. I guess the only way that I can think of that Ari could still help him if they were not together anymore in a relationship would be for them to go through with this wedding and getting married, but it would be like a sham of a wedding because they would only be doing it for green card purposes. And then he'll get his green card and then, I guess it can go live separate lives while he has his green card to travel back and forth between the United States and Ethiopia, because I think they talked about that as well, him visiting his family in Ethiopia after he gets his green card. So Benny is supposed to be meeting, Benny and Ari are supposed to be having dinner with Ari's family. And this will be the first time that Benny gets to meet Ari's siblings, which is one sister and two brothers. So as soon as they arrive and after everyone's greeted each other, everyone has been introduced or sitting down at dinner, and Ari's sister, she dove right in. She wasted no time. And she asked Benny when you were still living in Ethiopia and Ari was here in New Jersey. I guess this is when she had come to deal with the baby's medical procedure and Benny was still in Ethiopia. The sister says, I had overheard y'all arguing and I wanted to know what that argument was about. So I guess she wants to get Benny's version because I'm pretty sure Ari already filled her in with her version of that fight. So Benny says that the fight was because he was really worried about Ari and Avi ever coming back to Ethiopia. He had already lost one family and he was really worried about losing another family. So in order to occupy his mind and not dwell in his grief of the possibility of losing another wife and son, he would go out clubbing, hanging out with his friends just to kind of occupy himself. And it was just how he handled his grief. And of course, the sister and the mother acted like they really didn't believe him at all whatsoever. So then the mother says, well, how are y'all going to support yourselves? And the mother's all about the money. She's all about them dollar bills, kind of like, hey, I can't support my family and y'all at the same time. So when are y'all going to be able to get back on your own 2 feet and take care of yourselves financially? And Benny says that he has aspirations of being a UFC fighter. Then the sister questions him if that's his sole purpose of coming to the United States. That rubbed me the wrong way. That rubbed me all the way wrong. Like, what would make her assume? Because, number one, they're putting this pressure on them, and I feel like they're kind of putting that pressure more on Benny than they are on Ari, because, and I think they understand, these are some very smart people, so they understand that he can't work right away. But I think they really are letting him know that, hey, when that 90 day is up and you get your paperwork, you get your green card and whatever else that you need to understand that you need to get a job. And I think that that's what they really are like honing in on. And I think that's why Ari is kind of like very nonchalant about the whole getting a job thing, because she probably is like, my parents are going to take care of me until Benny gets his papers, and then Benny's going to take care of me. And I'm not going to have to worry about getting a job. But anyway, so when the sister was like, was that your sole purpose of coming to the United States, is to become a UFC fighter? Why would you think that, sister? The fact that he proposed to Ari in Ethiopia, they have this baby together. He was devastated when she came to the United States for the baby's medical procedure, because she just dropped the bomb on him that she was coming to the US for the medical procedure the day before she was supposed to leave. He had no idea that she was going to be leaving like that. The fact that he came all the way to the United States. Like, why would you think that he is not he's not serious about Avi or Ariella or any of that, that he's just here to be a UFC fighter? Like, why would you think that? That really was like very disrespectful. And the fact that Ari just kind of sat there and said nothing, I was like, Benny, I feel so bad for you. You have no allies in this. None. You're here completely alone, because even Ari was just kind of like, and when the sister and the mother are asking him all these questions and Ari's just sitting there, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, this is what she wanted. She wanted him to be in the line of fire with all these damn questions, because she could have told her family, hey, let's just have a nice dinner. Let's not talk about immigration or finances or anything like that. Let's just have a nice dinner. But it wasn't like that. So Benny says that he wants to be a UFC fighter. The sister questions that. And he says that he came here for Ari. Now, this is where I felt like Benny put his whole entire foot in his damn mouth. So as he's defending himself and says, no, I came here for Ari. I love Ari. I love my family. And then he says, but if she doesn't want to be with me, she can still help me get my green card. And this is going to be good for me. And Ari in her confessional says that you could feel, because it got quiet. It got real quiet when he said that. And Ari in her confessional says that you could feel her family's disapproval. You could feel like the silence was deafening, how everything just stopped when he said that, because that's every American family's fear, is that our loved one is being bamboozled or scammed or frauded by this foreigner who's just using them to come to America. And I wish to God that more Americans would understand that a lot of foreigners, okay, they really don't have an issue living in their countries. It's not like a lot of these countries are just really, 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 really that bad. Benny had no issue living in Ethiopia, because I just reminded myself of something else that I got to get off my chest talking about these people. Did they forget? Did her family forget that the whole purpose in the beginning was for Ari to live in Ethiopia? So why would y'all think that Benny has this plan or this scheme to use Ari just to come to America, just to get a green card and then, dump her, when the whole point was, in the very beginning, she was supposed to live in Ethiopia? It wasn't him trying to come here. It was her trying to go over there, because she was going to give up her whole entire life in New Jersey, and she was going to become a citizen of Ethiopia and live forever and ever and ever and ever with Benny in Ethiopia. Did they forget that? Did they forget that? Benny and Ari met. She came back to the United States. Then she was going to go right back to Ethiopia because she got pregnant. She was going to go right back to Ethiopia and have her baby there and live with him, marry him and live with him there. So why do y'all think that he's using her for a green card? He had no intentions of coming here to begin with. It was her idea. Did y'all forget that as well? It was Ari's idea to drag him to the United States. He didn't want to live in the United States. He wanted to live in Ethiopia. Because when she had brought up the whole suggestion of, hey, let's get the hell out of here and go to New Jersey, he didn't like it. He didn't want it. He wanted to stay in Ethiopia with his family. He never wanted to leave Africa. She basically begged him to come to the United States. And now y'all are going to sit around this damn table and have the audacity to try to accuse this man of just coming here for a green card and nothing else? How dare y'all? So that's where basically where that ended. That's where that ended. Oh, and then Ari whines about how she wonders if Benny really loves her as much as she loves him. And I was like, okay, if you're wondering if Benny loves you as much as you love him, that means he really doesn't love you, because I don't think you really love Benny. I don't think she really loves Benny like that. I really don't. I really don't think so. I think that I don't know what's going on with this relationship, but I don't really see her being like head over, because she is so aggravated by him. She gets so irritated by him. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe she does love him. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't comment on how she really feels about him. If she says that she really loves him, then she really loves him. But she was questioning whether he loves her as much as she loves him. And then, does he love her the same? And she's wondering if they're going to be able to work out their problems. The problems are from you. I mean, Benny, to me, it seems like he's so easygoing. He just wants to make sure that he doesn't lose his son. And, if you're going to be a part of the package, he's fine with that as well. He'll accept you too as well. He just really, his main focus is to maintain a relationship with his child. So these problems that you're talking about, Ari, these are problems that you're creating in your mind. Because when he brought up the whole New York City thing, you took it, you put 20 on 10 on that. And it was just an idea. It was just him making conversation. He wanted to stay in Ethiopia with you and his son. You're the one that dragged him across the world to come live in New Jersey. Like, you're the one that's wishy-washy, back and forth, up and down. He's just like, chill. Whatever you want, he gives it to you. You said, okay, we're leaving Ethiopia. We're going to go to Kenya. Okay, fine. He went to Kenya with you. Then you're like, okay, we're leaving Kenya. We're going back to New Jersey. Oh, he's like, okay, fine. He went to New Jersey. I mean, whatever you wanted, he did. And now you're going to be here talking about, well, I don't know if he really loves me. And I don't know if he really feels the same. Everything you've wanted, he's done for you. You haven't done anything for him. I wonder if you really love him. Anyway, let me get off this before I really lose my mind. That is my review of Bini and Ari. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe. If you don't like this content, don't worry about it. Thanks for stopping by anyway, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.